Good evening. My name is Miss Quinton and I'm the Vice Principal at the Hurlingham Academy. While we're bitterly disappointed that we can't have you in school in person tonight, we're excited at the teachers, the classrooms, the lessons and the students you'll be able to see online. We're even more excited by the number of socially distanced open mornings that we have ready for you and your child to come visit our school. Mr. Wilson, our principal, will share more on this in his presentation in a few moments. At the end of his talk, there is an opportunity for you to ask any questions that you might have by using the questions facility in the sidebar. Better still, please bring them to one of our open mornings where you can see the magic of the Hurlingham Academy firsthand. And now, before Mr. Wilson speaks, I want to play a clip which shows a little of what others are saying about the Hurlingham Academy. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Ms. Quinton, for the introduction. Firstly, thank you very much for taking the time to join us for our virtual open evening today. My name is Leon Wilson, and I'm the principal here at the Hurlingham Academy. I joined the Hurlingham Academy in September of 2015, and let me just make it very clear from the outset that I have no desire of leaving this place. I do consider myself to be the luckiest head teacher in Fulham, who has the privilege of working with the most amazing teachers and students that you can ever think of. I really and absolutely love the job I do. Actually, I tell all my friends I have the best job in the world. So I'm really sorry if any of you disagree, but I really do. I really know how stressful it is to find the right secondary school for your child. And I hope after today, you'll feel that this is the right school for your son or daughter. I take my responsibilities very seriously as a head teacher. I'm a visible head teacher who operates an open door policy. I will always make time for you because this is how we will improve things within the school. I'll do everything in my control to ensure that your child is successful if you do decide to send them to the Hurlingham Academy. Before COVID, you could simply just turn up to our school without an appointment to see the school. And that was the beauty about our school. We were the only school in Fulham that you could walk in and ask for a tour, and you would see students working. You'd see amazing lessons. But I really hope that you do take the opportunity to come to our open mornings. You can book those on our website. That's going to be next week, and there are a few more days in the weeks later. So do come along because you have to see what's happening here to really get a feel for what we're about. But what I'll say to you is please use the next 30 days to carefully get under the skins of all these schools that you'll be looking at, whether it's in this borough or neighboring boroughs. Look at their GCSE outcomes. Read into the information that schools are publishing on their website. Think about where will your child achieve the best grades? Where will they be happy? Where will they feel safe? And I hope at the end of today, you will feel the Hurlingham Academy will be that school for your child. So I want to start off by talking a little bit about your children, our pupils. They deserve the best teachers. Teachers who care deeply about outcomes, teachers who care deeply about their well-being. And I know before the summer holidays, there were lots of people worried about students coming back, and lots of schools are just focused on getting the results, catching up. But well-being is really important. And I'm so proud that what we've done this year, we've designated one morning per week, which is a well-being morning, where students can talk to their form tutors. We have mindfulness happening, the discussions happening. So we're really proud of what's happening here for our pupils, because if they don't have the right well-being, then they won't get the results. So we have to look after the whole child. We also have to remember that every child that walks through the gate, teachers in this school know that they can achieve, and they will because of the teachers we have here in this school. We're an exceptional school for progress and character. We teach our students resilience, grit, determination. We want them to be competitive. We want them to be the best at anything they do. The Hurlingham Academy is about changing lives. It is about not making excuses for our students. It is about high expectations. It's about looking to see how we can improve, stealing ideas with pride, breaking down barriers. We honestly believe that students will thrive regardless of background, regardless of ethnic origin, if they're given the right support. And this is what we do at the Hurlingham Academy. You know, this picture really sums up one of my favorite pictures, actually. This was August 2019 results day. Those three students you're looking at, one started with us in year 7, one started with us at the beginning of year 11, and one started with us in April of year 11. And the point of this picture is to show how hard our teachers work. These three boys all left with fantastic GCSE results, grade 8 and grade 9, even though some had weeks before the GCSE exam. This is how much work the teachers at the Hurlingham Academy are willing to put in to make sure that your children are successful. So these are the results from 2019, and I can show you the results from 2020. And I'm not going to disregard those results in any way, because pretty much all schools had great results last summer. And it's interesting that lots of schools won't show you the results of 2019. I'm really proud when we had external exams that we had some of the best results in the borough. English was 89%, maths 79%. But what I'm really proud of are the grade 5 pluses. Most schools do not publish what their 5+ grades are. English, we had 82%. The national average is 40%. Maths 62%, and maths and English combined 58%. Very, very proud of those outcomes. 78% of our pupils in 2019 left with fantastic grades. And our EBAC, very academic curriculum, 64% of our students left with very, very good grades. And the Progress 8 score, which is a new measure for the government, for the Hurlingham was 0.57 in 2019. What that means is our pupils at the Hurlingham Academy had half a grade better than students nationally, not just in Fulham, but nationally right across the country. And that's how much we care about students doing well at our school. Now, in Fulham, we have over 12 secondary schools, and this might be controversial for a lot of schools, but the point here that I'm trying to make is the Hurlingham Academy in 2019 was the 5th best school in the borough. Now, if you look at this list, you'll see that all the other schools are selective schools. We do not select. We don't care which borough you live in. We don't care how far you have to travel to get to us. As long as you put us as number 1, you will get in. But we are a community school, and we want every one of our pupils to thrive regardless of where they come from. So you can see here, Sacred Heart done very well, Lady Margaret. Those are selective schools. You know, by chance you may get in. For our school, look at the progress score between us and the Oratory. Pretty much the same. I'm not satisfied that this is the best the Hurlingham can offer. We will be the best school in this Fulham, in Fulham, and we will do it without being selective. So you're not taking a chance. You're not taking a gamble by sending your children to our school. We were the 5th best school. So if you don't see the other schools on the list, it simply means that they weren't in the top 5. These were some of the comments we got from the pupils at the end of their exams. Thank you for always pushing me to do better and to follow through with all my work and to be the best version of myself. Thank you so much for all your support throughout the last 2 years. I'm forever grateful for your kindness, time, and support you've put in to our resource and intervention. And thank you so much for the grade 9s. So many pupils left our school with fantastic grades, grades that parents in this borough pay fees at independent school to achieve. We do it right here at the Hurlingham Academy. So teaching and learning is critical to everything we do. Teaching is at the heart of everything we do at the Hurlingham Academy. I spend lots of time making sure we recruit the right teachers for students here at the Hurlingham Academy. It's really important to me that teachers who do join our school care deeply about the children they teach. We take a very, very long time to make sure that we have the right candidates. And it's really important that if a person isn't good enough to teach my children, they're not good enough to teach yours. So it's really important to me that I get it right, that we have teachers who want to be here and nowhere else, but to teach our children. Our curriculum is quite broad. We give more lessons than most schools over to the core subjects. So you can see that students have a wide range of subjects to study. Students in the top set will do Mandarin. We think that's really important. Some students will do 2 languages in some cases. They do geography 3 lessons a week. We have music, that's compulsory, arts compulsory, drama lessons, and we have lots of enrichment clubs, which I'll talk about. So we have a broad curriculum for students in Key Stage 3. Our enrichment clubs are also really important. We have clubs for whether it's sports clubs, whether it's art club, it may be debating club, music club. We have rugby teams, we have all sorts of teams. Every week we have about 30 clubs running each day, and it is compulsory for students in Key Stage 3 to join a club each week. So we're giving our students the same offer that fee-paying schools offer their pupils. And we have our Hurlingham promise. We want every year 7 pupil that comes to our school to go on a residential. Every pupil in year 8 will visit another country. Year 9 students will go to a Russell Group University. Year 10 will take part in work experience. And year 11 do interviews with professionals, whether those are from companies in the city who will come in and do rigorous interviews of our year 11 students to prepare them for sixth form and for university. Now, all this will change in the new world in which we live for COVID, but this is our aim, to make sure that every pupil have this experience. This is what happens in fee-paying schools. So we have to make sure if it is good for them, it is good for the pupils here at the Hurlingham Academy. We're part of a big group, and we're part of a huge trust, United Learning. United Learning has over 100 schools, both primary, academies, and independent schools. And I steal with pride from our independent schools. Guildford High School, one of the best schools in the country. Fiona Bolton, who is the head teacher, regularly comes here. Teachers from Guildford High School will come here to teach our pupils. I want to make sure that our pupils are not missing out in any way. So we work from our framework of excellence, and there are 5 pillars that we all underpin everything we do at the Hurlingham Academy. It's about the best in everyone, expecting the best from everyone all the time. We challenge pupils to think about things they feel they can't do, to persist, to work hard and do their best. For teachers to have the highest expectation of themselves and of our children. Powerful knowledge, it's about exposing the students at the Hurlingham Academy to the best that has been thought of and said. Inspiring teaching that gives them access to difficult concepts and the thrill of intellectual discovery. And our pupils are mastering the ability to critique and to challenge the status quo, and to think and to learn. And when we talk about education with character, it's great to have lots of GCSEs, grade 9s across the board. But life is more than just getting exam results. And we're not an exam factory. We want well-rounded students. We want students who are able to debate things that they're being told. No, and that's really needed in the times that we're living now. We expect them to contribute to their school and to society as a whole. Leadership in every role is making sure students take advantage of every opportunity to lead, whether that's in their tutor groups, whether that's in the house system. Any opportunity we have, we involve the students in the running of the school. This is where they spend most of their day. Every adult in the school is a leader. Everyone, not just the teachers, the cleaners, the receptionists, the support staff, are role leaders in the organization. And pupils refer to members of staff as sir or madam, which is really important because we set the tone for the young people we serve. And we expect adults to take responsibilities and demand the highest standard of integrity from all pupils. And continuous improvement. We're not the best school yet in Fulham. We will be. I am not leaving this school. We will be the best school in Fulham, and we're going to do it without being selective. We're constantly looking for improvements and implementing them with pace. We steal really good ideas with pride, and we make them better. We're always working to improve the school. So what is different about us? What's different about the Hurlingham Academy? Well, I consider this school to be a comprehensive grammar school. I will make sure that every lesson, everything we do, we have the highest expectations for your children. And that's really important, because when they leave this school, I want them to be able to compete with the best and brightest in our society. We have great teachers, teachers who go the extra mile for our pupils, teachers who stay back after school to make sure students understand their homework, teachers who give up their time to do clubs, and more importantly, teachers who are passionate about their subjects. We have all our teachers are specialist teachers. We don't use supply teachers in our school. So every pupil, every classroom have specialist teachers all the way through. And we have exceptional behavior in every single lesson. We're the strictest school in Fulham, and I make no apologies for that. When you walk around the school, you do not see disruption. And for too long, too many schools in this country accept too many students disrupting the learning of other students. And I make no apologies to say this may not be the school for your child, but if you want your child to be in an environment where they can learn without disruption, this is the school for you. Tom Bennett says behavior is like a low-hanging fruit of education. Where it is good and exemplary, learners and teachers can flourish. But where it's poor, it strangles opportunity. And I think that really sums it up for me about why we ensure that all lessons are disruption-free. And all the pupils who do come to this school will tell you, every assembly that I do, they know my first slide is every pupil at this school deserves disruption-free learning. And that's why we're able to say to parents, come in anytime, come and have a look at us before COVID. And you would have seen this in action. We are a community school. It doesn't matter where you live, whether you're in Wandsworth, whether you're in Kensington and Chelsea, whether you're coming from Croydon, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. I want this to be a community school. If you believe in our values, then this is the school for you. Put us as number one as your choice. Doesn't matter where, as I said, you live, you will get in. I want parents who want to ensure that their pupil can thrive in a really good environment. This is the school to be. And when United Learning asked me, do I want to change the admissions criteria when I started year 2015, I think that was wrong. This will always remain a community school, and it will become the best school in Fulham. But I also want to stress how happy our pupils are. And you just need to come in and see those pupils at break time, lunchtime, their interaction with their peers. Bullying is something that we take very seriously. And lots of head teachers will say to you over the next few weeks, we take bullying seriously. Come and talk to our pupils. They will tell you how safe they feel. We have our house system, and this really helps to build that sense of community within our school. Students from all different year groups are placed in houses. They're all vertical, so students in year 7 gets to work with students in year 11, and we build that sense of community so they don't look after them, not just in school, but outside school as well. And enrichment, as I said earlier, matters. We have DOV for our pupils. Enrichment happens every Monday after school. It's compulsory for year 7, year 8, and year 9. We have over 30 clubs happening. We have rugby club, we have football club, we have debating club. All different clubs are on offer. We have DOV for our pupils. So when they leave us and they go to write their application for university, they can talk about these unique opportunities that they've been given at this school. And that's really important. And courtesy matters. I'm really old-fashioned. I believe students and adults should be respectful at all times. So we expect students in our school to say good morning. We expect them to hold doors for their teachers. We expect them to say thank you when they're served their lunch. We expect them to show manners and courtesy, not just when they're on site, but also when they're in public. And I'm really interested in what goes on the weekends. That's how important this is to me. I'm going to share with you an email, and I'll just give you a couple of minutes to read it. This was sent to me by a member of the public on the way home on the district line. And I think what really struck me here is it says, I'm a teacher myself, and if my pupils behave as admirably as these boys did, I would be very proud indeed. So it's not just about what goes on inside school, it's also what goes on outside school. And all the students at the Hurlingham Academy knows what the expectations are of behavior outside. This was another one that was sent through. Currently on the district line, heading westbound towards Wimbledon. Just wanted to write to tell you that I'm in a carriage full of your pupils and they're impeccably behaved. What a credit to you and your team. And again, our pupils know how to carry themselves, how to behave when no one's looking. And it's really important that I stress this to you as parents, that manners is really important. It costs nothing. But also developing character involves praise and discipline. And sometimes parents do confuse discipline with strictness. We have to have very clear boundaries for students so they understand what is expected of them. And that liberates teachers to be able to do their job, which is to teach. But we do have lots of rewards. We have merits that goes up every week. We have a display. We have postcards that we do send home to parents. We have our golden postcards as well. So students who get 10 postcards will then bring those to me. They'll get a golden one. We have our silver and bronze badges, our weekly attendance raffle. Students can win up to £40 each week. Bit controversial, but it's really good fun here at the Hurlingham. We have trips and visit, whether that's to Thorpe Park or Chessington. We have rewards assembly every 6 weeks. And so there are lots of money we put behind our reward system, because if the pupils are doing what is expected of them, then I want them to see that we appreciate and we reward them. We have lots of trips. So you can see here that we take our pupils outside the classroom to learn, whether that's going to St. Paul's, whether that's going to the Tate, Kew Garden, Tower of London, the Science Museum. It's really important to me that we broaden our students' cultural capital. We take them skiing. And unfortunately, this year we had to cancel our ski trip due to COVID, but we're hoping in the near future that we will be able to take our pupils away. And it's heavily subsidized because these things are very important. Pupils in fee-paying schools, this is part of what is expected for them. So we subsidize these trips and we take as many pupils as possible away on these trips. But we also have to remind our children that the elderly folks around us have given a lot to our country and they need to be grateful. And every December, we will have our annual OAP tea dance in our main hall. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do that this year. But it's really important our students are grounded and they understand the sacrifice and the contribution that's made by these people. Now, it's really, they do get a bit excited. They do have a lot more sherry than they should do. But that's just, I guess, part of the fun. It's once a year, but it's a really, really good opportunity for pupils at the Hurlingham Academy to give back to elderly people within the community. But also, we do lots of charity work. This was our Christmas hamper last Christmas. We took this to the food bank, and one of the things that we were told was the Hurlingham Academy alone gave more stuff than all the other schools combined. And this is important that our students understand that there are lots more people who are less fortunate than them. And it's really important for me that we always give back. So we were able to give tons of items to the food bank at Christmas. And this is something we do every single year. We just put the trays out and the food just keeps coming in. And that's really important. And it tells you something about the community we have here. But it's also important for me that we teach our pupils about careers. We want to get them out into the community, into real life, so they understand the value of work. And that will be a lot more challenging this year with COVID. But we will look to see how we create opportunities, whether that's online, for pupils to understand how things work in the real world. So what I'll say to you is this is an exceptional school. And the only way to find out is for you to come and visit. Book a slot in the morning next week. We have lots more time available for people to come in and see the school. If you do want to come in, do wear a face mask. I think that's really important. And do let us know what time you're coming. And I also want you to check out our departments, our curriculum pages. Teachers have put a lot of effort into telling you a lot about what they do within their subject areas. So it would be really good for you to go to our website and check out these videos that have been put together. So at this point, I'm going to take questions. So I'm going to go back to Ms. Quinton, who has been monitoring the chat function. And if there are any questions, I'll take those now.
Hi, Mr. Wilson. Myself and SLT, we've been answering quite a few of the questions. How about, do you want to say a little bit about bullying, and is that an issue at the Hurlingham Academy?
In any school, we constantly have to be vigilant. And I will never sit here and say to you there's no bullying, but what I can tell you, if any issues come to light, my pastoral team take bullying very seriously, including myself. So this is something that we do investigate. We get parents in, we talk to students every day about why it's important to treat each other with respect. But that's not something over the last 3 to 4 years that has been an issue at the Hurlingham Academy.
Another question about banding. Do we band? Do we stream? Do we set?
So we do stream our students. So students are, when they come in, we do a rank order. Not to come into the school, our admissions criteria is just distance. So we look to see, and also whether you put us as first choice. But once the students are here, we do stream. So students who do come in above age related are going to the top group. So we have HURL, and the top groups are much bigger. In maths, we do set as well. So those students were able to go at a much faster pace. We're able to support them in doing so. So you may find that set 4 or set 5 are much smaller, with 2 or 3 TAs in that classroom to make sure those pupils can catch up really quickly.
Do students get the chance to learn a musical instrument?
Yes, and interestingly, Mr. Clark, who's our head of music, have arranged for students this week to have instrumental lessons, and we heavily subsidize the lessons. So we have Perry teachers who do come into the school. So it costs parents about £10 a term for their child to learn a musical instrument.
Great. Another one. Do we have staff standing outside the school when students leave at the end of the day? Do we have students in the morning? How do we know that students get home and get into school safely?
So we have members of the senior team who are on the gates, and for those parents who don't know me yet, you will see me on my Boris bike going around Parsons Green. I try and go out every evening, go to the bus stops, make sure students are being safe, they get onto the right bus, they're behaving appropriately. So we do walks in the community to check on our pupils, and also for them to know that if anything should happen, we're there, and they can always come back to us. So we do lots of patrol within the local area to make sure students get home safely.
What are our rules on mobile phones, Mr. Wilson?
Mobile phone's an interesting one. And what I would say to parents is if you don't need to give your child a mobile phone, don't. Because one of the biggest problems we have are issues happening on the weekend with mobile phones, which do then come into school. But what we say to parents is that if it is seen in school, it will be confiscated. So we're not saying to pupils you can't have one, but if it is seen, if it goes off in lessons, if they use it in the classroom, if they use it on site, it will be confiscated. But most of our pupils, what they do as they get to the school gate, they turn the phone off, they put it in their bags, and at the end of school, they get to the gate, they turn the phone back on so they can make parents aware that they're leaving school. So I know you want to communicate with your child for safety reasons, but also remember that very mobile phone that you've given to them is also a target for someone else.
If families want to come to our open mornings, and I very much hope they do, how is the best way for them to get there? And if they want to park, is there parking in the area, Mr. Wilson?
Yes, so we have limited parking on site. So if you do want to park, please let us know. So if you put that when you sign up for the open morning tour, then we can manage the number of parking spaces we have. There's also parking outside the school, but that can become quite busy as well. I'd say the best way to get to us, Parsons Green Station, if you're coming by tube, or if you take the 295 Wandsworth Bridge Road, and it's just a 5-minute walk to our school.
A different topic, how do we deal with cyberbullying?
So again, where we always investigate and we always make sure parents are aware of what's going on, and we will confiscate pupils' phones, whether it happened in school or outside school. 99.9% of the cyber issues we have do happen at home, not in school. So we tend to, first of all, not just punish, but we also educate students as well about how responsible they need to be on the internet. But we do take a very tough line with students who are mean to each other online. Their phones may be taken for up to a month, and that stays in school until the parents and I agree as to when it's appropriate for those children to get the phone back.
Same theme, but do we have IT lessons?
We don't have IT lessons per se, but students have to use computers. So in maths lessons, for whether that's for Hegarty maths, students will also use computers in their music lessons as well, or in art to do research. So we don't teach computing, but we have computing clubs that we run on a Monday that students can sign up to.
Tell us a little bit about the zones. Are Year 7 totally separate from Year 8?
Yes, so in this new world of COVID, and before that actually, Year 7 has always had its own area of the playground for at least the first half term. So the head of year, the form tutors, they're able to interact with each other rather than interaction with the older pupils. So Year 7 have an entire zone to themselves. Now in this new way of working, every year group has its own zone in the school. So they're very distinctive zones. When pupils do come into school, they go into that particular zone. The head of year is there waiting. The head of key stage is also there, and the form tutors are also there to meet them. So they're well looked after, I must say, at the Hurlingham.
Another parent is impressed with our uniform, thank you. But what about jewellery and hairstyles?
Very simple. We keep it very simple. It's not a fashion show. So we want students to wear just a plain stud in terms of jewelry. That's it. One pair, and that's what we ask for. No coloring in hair. And for boys, it's a simple haircut. It's also in the handbook. So if you were to come here, that would be something that Ms. Quinton would go through in the Year 6 induction in June. And we really spell things out, because what we don't want a distraction in lessons. So it's very, very simple. No jewelry apart from plain studs for girls, shoes and uniform, leather shoes, polishable shoes, because we want boys to be able to, and girls as well, to polish their shoes to come to school, but no bracelets or any of that sort.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about lockdown? So what happened during lockdown in terms of lessons? If there's a second lockdown, what's the provision for children who'll be at home?
So I think our staff have been amazing in terms of working with our pupils from home, and I have quite a few emails from parents just saying amazed they were with the amount of work that we provided for pupils during lockdown. Some schools pupils weren't getting any work whatsoever. So one of the things that we put in really early was every week pupils would get a call from their form tutor or their subject teacher. We had live lessons where pupils were able to log in and their teachers would teach that lesson live, so there could be live interaction with our pupils. We also had voiceover PowerPoint as well. So we kept the schedule the same for pupils throughout lockdown because I think routine is really important. We also bought lots of computers where we had students who didn't have internet at home or IT at home. So those pupils were given computers. And we're really set now in terms of what we need to do if we were to have another lockdown. So we're really ready. We've taken find out from all parents in terms of whether pupils were sharing their device at home. And if that was the case, we've given them one, so they have their own device. So there were no excuses as to why they weren't doing the work from home.
Homework, do you want to tell us a little bit about homework?
Yes, we have a homework timetable and that will be shared with you. We use Show My Homework and parents will get a login to Show My Homework, so you will know what homework your child's been given. Your child will receive at least 2 or 3 pieces of homework each day, and homework is due a week in advance. So the students will get the homework on Monday and it's due the following Monday. So there is enough time for students to really talk to their teachers, talk to their parents, get the right support to be able to do that. And homework is really important to complement what's going on within the classroom.
How do pupils pay for school meals? Do you want to tell us a little bit about lunch? A couple of people have asked about lunches.
Lunches, we have fantastic food here. We have a new chef. Everything's cooked fresh each day, and that's really, really important to me, that the food we serve is something that I'm proud to serve to the students. Parents can top up online, so we have an online payment system, and you can also log in and see exactly what your child's having each day. So you can see whether they're buying lunch or whether they're buying just food at break time. So that's really important. We have a time for each year group when they have lunch. So we want people sitting down at a table with knife and fork, and they eat inside with their teachers, which is really important. So all the food we cook every day is fresh and really, really healthy. And I must say, we do have the odd pizza and patties, but I think we serve that at break time. But at lunchtime, pupils must have either a sandwich and a drink or a main meal and a drink. They can't just have a pudding for lunch.
I think that is it for the moment, Mr. Wilson. The team have been very busy answering them. So, last one, languages. What languages do we teach?
We teach Spanish, we teach French, and we teach Mandarin.
Brilliant. I think that is it. I mean, parents are welcome to ask a few more. We'll be online for a bit longer. So if there is anything that you do want to ask, they can. But I'm sure, Mr. Wilson, you want to invite them in for an open morning where we can do this in person.
Absolutely. I think it's really important you come in and see us. And I know lots of schools are not allowing, but what you will see is exactly what it will be like for your child in September, how calm and purposeful lessons are. Not many schools were able to do that before lockdown. And I think what I want to showcase to you is exactly what it's going to be like for your child. Please go to the website and check out those department videos that we've created. That will also give you a flavor of what's going on within each of those subjects. But I think the best way to experience the Hurlingham and get that sense of community that's here, it's really special. It's really magical. You have to come in and see us. So if you do get the chance, please, 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 please come in and see us. Thank you very much for joining today. I know it's been quite a tough time for everyone, and it's quite a difficult decision to make. But I hope what you've heard today would have convinced you that the Hurlingham Academy isn't just another school. We are the top non-selective school in this borough, and we will be the best school by the time your child gets to year 11. Thank you very much. Riz, are we still live?
Yes.